And good afternoon. This is Woody Collins with Congo Helping Hands, and it is April Fool's Day. However, we're not here to talk about April Fool's Day. We are here to talk about Congo. And today's subject is testing a new solar pump water system. Thank you for stopping by. And if you like these presentations, please like, subscribe, and share. So this is almost kind of going back to April Fools, but I was thinking about doing this testing, and I thought, oh yeah, that'd be a great idea. And then all of a sudden, I thought, wait a minute, this is not going to work. Number one, the reason it's not going to work, there is no functional water wells in the Congo that we can test on because most of them are not functional. We did a test back in where we did some water testing, and we had three water wells out of eight that was supposed to be in the whole province. And none of them, the three that we went to in our sample, they wasn't working. So working water wells are a thing of rare, uh, very rare in the Congo in some areas. I know my buddy Paul Law, and he's putting in some, so he has about eight, and I've worked on them with him. That there's about, I know he has 8 to 10 that's working, but those are the new generation of water wells that has these solar pumps on them. So we wanted to take an existing water well and put a solar pump on it and see, test the other part of the system we was going to put on it, and see how receptive it was with the people, and kind of, kind of like you do before you buy a new car. You spend a lot of money for a new car, and these new water wells and systems that we're going to be putting in, they cost a lot of money. And so we wanted to test them out, do some research on them by setting up a test one and see how it works. So, like kicking the tires, taking it for a test drive, all those things that you do before you go out and spend a lot of money and put yourself in the hawk for the next, you know, 3, 5, 6 years. Yeah. And you want to do all those things. So, anyway, I'm not finding any water wells. I sent a message over to Congo saying, hey, uh, Uh, did y'all know any water wells that's available? Primarily ones that have manual pumps on it that we could test. Number two, that they are running off either diesel power or the grid, which I know there's not too many would run off the grid because the grid doesn't work that often. So that would be counterproductive. You would have a water well that never worked because the electricity was never on. So we're working on that, trying to find some, and hopefully we can identify at least one that we can hopefully, invest in to see how it's going to work, uh, we know water wells, we know that part. We know, we know how to drill one. We know how to put the solar panels on it to make it pump and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to be adding a new components to it to make it more sustainable. And that is what we are looking for that we probably can't test. And that's the part that we need to test. So hopefully we can find something, but it's just one of those situations that after I thought about it, it sounds like a great idea. However, now that I'm looking at it, I'm going, oh, gee, how do I get this to work? Because there is nobody to get it to find a water well. Oh, there's one of my buddies from over in the Congo, George, and hopefully he can find something. But anyway, we're going to be looking because we want to do it and it's necessary. I mean, we just don't want to, take the vendor's word for it and also not test it out to see how receptive is the people going to be to it because definitely in order to be sustainable, it needs to be something that's going to be socially responsible to them, environmentally, and all that kind of other good things that we want to have done. And we need to be able to have a proof of principle to say, hey, this works. We've done it. Look at it, test it, kick it, test drive it, see how it works, and then we can go forward and multiply and put those in throughout the area. But before we do that, we got to somehow come up with a test. And we want to test it because the easiest way to test is to take an existing water well and upgrade it to a solar pump on it and do all these other fancy things that we want to do to it versus going out drilling a well and then from the ground because the drilling of the well is going to be uh, quite expensive, not only in equipment for the well itself, but also the process of drilling the well is going to take some time to get used, get in place, and to get done. So it was kind of April Fool's joke for myself, but I'm going to work through it. Sometimes you do things and you don't fully think them, but at least we're just thinking about it versus we hadn't made the commitment to anybody yet, but we're going to try to find something that we can make the commitment and get it done. So thank you all for stopping by. Thank you all for uh, coming and listening. And if you know of some water well in the Congo and in the Kasai area that we can test on, let me know. And otherwise, take care of yourself. Let's get this pandemic under control. Number one, let's wear our masks. Number two, wash our hands frequently. And number three, socially distance ourselves. And finally, if you're eligible for the vaccine, please go out and think about getting it done so that we can keep these variants out of the system. So take care, and we will talk with you later.